So somebody made a choice. You made a choice to let go of either someone, an old soulmate that you once were emotionally connected to, or you made a choice to release the stress of something old, the stress of an old relationship. Okay? It'll differ depending on who you are. And this is a general reading, so of course you have to read into it your specific details, but the theme is still the same. You've made a choice. This is your present energy. You've made a choice. I can't see if it's a final choice, but you made a choice to no longer stress yourself, exhaust yourself, take just, action upon action upon action towards uh, doing something that has to do with an old love, an old thing that you were emotionally connected to. And if it's not about relationships, because everything is not about relationships, but most things are. If it's not about relationships, there may be something that you emotionally were committed to. You emotionally used to love. This idea you used to love about yourself, this thing that you thought you would do, this dream you used to have. There's some old emotional attachment to something or someone. And it seems like, maybe there was a lot of secrecy or a lot of hidden things that you weren't aware of in the past, but that were revealed. It's possible that that's the case. It's possible that your intuition just kind of revealed that you needed to make certain choices. Whatever the case is, you're coming out of a period of having to trust your intuition and your instincts pretty heavily towards this situation. Now, because this high priestess is in the past, hold on, let me clarify for the high priestess. Why is this high priestess here? Look, the Knight of Wands. I was going to say, because the high priestess is in the past, it kind of gives this impression that you had to make a choice about something, an intuitive choice. Maybe you didn't have any like actual evidence surrounding this choice, but you had like a gut instinct. You had like this intuitive nudge that you had to do something, you had to take an action. For some of you guys, you had to break something off. For others of you guys, you had to change directions with this Knight of Wands. Some of you guys may have had to travel. Yeah, those are the things that are coming through. But whatever the case is, you had to like switch gears, and you had an intuitive nudge that you needed to switch gears. For a very small group of you guys, there was literally just a breakup. There was a breakup. Real simple. There was a breakup. Sagittarius could be important. Gemini could be important. Pisces could be important to some of your stories. But there was literally just a breakup. Like your instincts were telling you like something's off. And so either you led the breakup or they led the breakup. But there was an ending of something, and that caused the switching of the direction. Okay? Or outgrowing of something. But whatever the case is, something was hidden. The high priestess is this hidden energy. All right, so for some of you guys, there may have been secrets. There may have been just like partial truths, just a lack of clarity regarding a situation, and you got up out of there. All right, Knight of Wands, you got up out of there. You did this expeditiously. Okay, the Knight of Wands is not a slow walker. They're a runner. You know what I'm saying? And so that happened. And right now you're in a place where you're kind of just making peace with it. You're kind of just relieving the stress of it. You're no longer, doing the most. You're no longer your nervous system. You're just trying to get it back to balance. All right, you're kind of making that choice to kind of let the past be in the past. But I can see with this Ten of Wands that it's not just simple. That's not just a simple task for you. You're actually needing to like regulate your nervous system around whatever happened to you in the past. Because whenever we go through like traumatic situations or difficult situations, heartbreaks, breakups, endings of jobs, whatever, it does rattle our nervous system. Makes us a bit like anxious, makes us a bit nervous, makes us a bit like on guard, something like that. And so it does look like you are, even though you made a good choice, that was a wise choice, you're also still choosing to release the stress of that choice. Now, for a small group of you guys, if this has to do with relationships, you've had a few relationships that you had to get up out of, and now you're in a place where you may be choosing something having to do with a relationship partner, and you're needing to sort of like trust again, or you're needing to like get yourself to a place where you're open again emotionally, because maybe you were guarded. For another group of you guys, you might find in this present moment that this Lovers card with this Six of Cups reveals that this Mercury retrograde will do what it does, which is bring another old past lover or love interest or love project back around one more again, just so you can decide, is this what I want to pursue? Is this where I want to put my energy, or is it not? All right, so that's definitely going to happen. November is Mercury retrograde season, basically. And so this whole month, we are going to be in some phase of a Mercury retrograde, whether it's the shadow phase or the actual full brunt of it. And so just expect old lessons to come back around as they need to, so that we can review. Okay, so expect it. But just know that whatever reason you ended something before or broke something off before, that felt like an intuitive, like and a wise reason. So don't let something come back around and pull the wool over your eyes. That's kind of the message that's coming through. Future energy, we have the Page of Cups, the Six of Pentacles. Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles. It looks like there's an offer, some type of offer. It feels fair. It feels balanced. It feels reciprocal, give and take. All right, there's an offer. Now, because there's a Cups, this is the Page of Cups, it is an emotional offer. So it could be a love offer. It could be having to do with a child. It could also be something that just is an offer that will have you feeling emotionally fulfilled, happy, etc. All right, but there's something that's coming. Someone will offer you something. And maybe this time it is fair. It is what you needed it to be. Maybe before it wasn't. Maybe before it was just whatever this was. Like if this was a relationship, maybe before this person was just all about sex, all about fun, pleasure, nothing serious. They were just, we having a good time, something like that. But now it looks like there's an offer that's coming around that will be stable, steady, something you can rely on, something that will feel like it's fair. The only thing is you can't get to accept that offer until you release the past. And so you might find that during this Mercury retrograde this month, you're being tested. You're being tested as far as like, do you choose based on what feels stable, or do you choose based on the right now instant gratification? You may find that you have a bit of a lesson there. And so someone may come back around to you and they may not be a good choice, so you should not choose them. But then you also may be met with a choice that is a good choice, and you need to have the wherewithal to actually make the right choice to create the life that feels stable. So don't choose someone or something that basically feels like it is unstable out of like fear or worry or stress or anxiety. That's kind of what's looking like it's happening here. Like you're being met with a choice. Advice card. Let's see what the advice card is. Look at that. Page of Wands. Oof, we got lots of fire here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. This is your advice card. This is always my leap of faith card. This is like, hey, you need to take inspired action. Don't just take any old action. Take inspired action. All right. Know exactly what is for you, what you're moving towards, and also know when it's over. Queen of Swords, the World card. There's something that you left behind because it was over, because it was outdated. It was a version of you that was unhealed, and you're no longer that person anymore. You've been working on healing your heart space, working on healing your nervous system, and now you're making choices that feel right for you, stable for you, reciprocal. Reciprocity feels really important here. All right, this the card that came out for you guys is Abundancia, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. You are very powerful, and I am here to support your growing power. It's right for you to receive this help as we function as a team. I've heard your prayers, worries, and affirmations. I'm pouring my cornucopia of prosperity upon you now, so expect unforeseen windfalls and gifts. Notice the new ideas, feelings, and visions within you. This guidance gives you clear direction about the actions to take in conjunction with my assistance. Together we are unstoppable. Other meanings for this card: you need to be open to receiving. There is a new windfall of money that is coming to some of you guys. You have nothing to worry about. Your new venture will be successful financially. You need to visualize and affirm abundance. And then abundance comes to you in many ways, including extra time, support, and ideas. All right. So there is something that you're going to need to be choosing at the end of this retrograde, possibly in December. But during the midst of the retrograde, you're going to have several little mini lessons, and your choices will guide you through it or loop you back around. So choose wisely. All right. Peace, guys.